समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या? समझ में नहीं आया।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.
Let me start this episode of Politically Correct with an anecdote. A few weeks back, a nonagenarian leader from Karnataka met Prime Minister Narendra Modi. As that leader started talking about his age, Modi interrupted the Rajya Sabha member, saying, "When I take oath in 2029, you will still be sitting here." The little birdie who told me this story was not sure what the PM meant by here, the parliament, or among the audience at the oath taking ceremony. So, what makes PM Modi so confident about his fourth term? Comfort. As economist and former member of PM's Economic Advisory Council, Sujit Bhalla says, the comfort of an opposition that is waiting for divine intervention. Let me just give you the context of Bhalla's comfort remark. In an article in the Indian Express last week, he wrote that India has grown at 6.2% per year for the past 33 years, but our politicians think existing policies allow for good performance. Don't rock the boat is the mantra. From a level of 2 to 2.5% of GDP for the past 2 decades, FDI has fallen to less than 1%, the same level as in the late 1990s. What killed FDI? Comfort. Sujit Bhalla cited a lot of other things to explain this comfort, but let's not digress. The moot question is, what makes Modi government so comfortable and confident? The opposition, of course. In January 2013, in an auditorium in Jaipur, Rahul Gandhi was delivering his maiden speech as the newly anointed Congress vice president. His mother, Sonia Gandhi, had come to his room the previous night and cried because, as Rahul said, she understands that power is poison. It has struck an emotional chord, ostensibly. The audience, especially those sitting on the dais with the Gandhi family, started sobbing and crying. Cameras were rolling, of course. Janardhan Dwivedi, then a much more powerful leader, just choked when he held the mic after Rahul left. Sheila Dikshit, the then Delhi CM, borrowed a hanky from Priyanka Gandhi to wipe her tears and nose. 12 years since then, many veteran Congress leaders are crying in private because Rahul Gandhi still thinks that power is poison, or so his politics seems to suggest. When the Congress decided to hold the AICC session in Gujarat after a gap of 64 years, many in the party thought that the leadership was finally waking up to the crisis. They went to Ahmedabad with hope, but they have returned with trepidation about their future. The party will not change. It's again the same old sycophancy of the Gandhi family, with the AICC resolution calling Rahul the torchbearer of social justice and crediting the far-sighted thinking of Sri Rajiv Gandhi for the 33% reservation for women in Panchayati Raj institutions. There was no mention of Narasimha Rao, during whose government constitutional amendments were brought to provide for this reservation. The draft resolution had spoken about the unsafe environment for religious minorities without mentioning Muslims and Christians. It was only after members objected to it at the CWC meeting that those minorities were specified: Hindus, Buddhists, and Christians. Overall, the deliberations at the AICC session was largely a reiteration of what Rahul Gandhi has been talking all these years: caste census, reservation, unemployment, crony capitalism, attack on institutions, and so on and so forth. Essentially, the Congress under the Gandhi family's stewardship has been doing all the right things and needs no change in their approach. At least that's what you sensed from what happened in Ahmedabad. The Congress would wait for voters to become intelligent enough to realize their mistake. There was at least one voice, however, that sought to shake the party off its high horse and see the reality. It was the voice of Shashi Tharoor, the Thiruvananthapuram MP, whose candidness often lands him in trouble. Addressing the CWC meeting, Tharoor started with a reality check that the Congress has hit a plateau of 20% support, and so it must reclaim those who once voted for it but have gone away. How do we do that? We need to appeal to them by coming across as constructive critics, not offering unrelenting negativity. We say what we are against, but what are we for? It is far from clear. My sources quoted Tharoor as saying, he was hitting the nail on the head. Let me sum up some of the points that Tharoor made in his short speech. 1. The public perception that the Congress is against everything that the government does is not good. Second point, concerned about inequality is fine, but does it imply that our government will redistribute income? Tharoor supported Manish Tiwari's argument that the Congress should be mindful of and respond to the aspirations of the youth to make money and prosper. Tharoor's third point was, the party keeps talking about unemployment, but what do we propose to do about it? The resolution says that we are in favor of AI, robotics, etc., which will take away more jobs and create more unemployment. How do we resolve the contradiction? Fourth point, the Congress attacks the government and the BJP for dividing the country on grounds of religion, but they can turn around and say that the Congress is dividing the nation on grounds of caste. Fifth point, instead of being merely concerned about tariffs, why don't we urge constructive negotiations to safeguard the interests of our farmers, automobile parts manufacturers, and pharmaceutical companies in India? Sixth point, the Congress has a history of 140 years, whereas the BJP has just 45. But 3 Lok Sabha elections have taught us that the youthful majority of voters simply does not care about our history. They want to know what we will do for them today and what kind of tomorrow we can provide for them. That has to be the key to our messaging. Seventh point, and the most important point, the win back those voters and gain young voters, the Congress has to be the party of hope, not of resentment. The party of the future and not just the past. The party with a positive narrative and not just negative criticism. You can hear Tharoor's suggestions to the Congress top brass again. His diagnosis, prognosis, and prescription were all perfect. Rahul and his coterie in the CWC looked rather upset by Tharoor's candid talks, as I am told. It spoke to multiple Congress leaders in Delhi and outside to gauge their views. Almost all of them agreed with Tharoor. I guess even the Gandhis would know that he is right, but the problem is that Rahul can never be wrong. Tharoor's outspokenness may queer the pitch further for him in Kerala Congress, which is controlled by K.C. Venugopal, Rahul's trusted lieutenant. The 4-term MP from Thiruvananthapuram is the best bet for the Congress in the next assembly election in Kerala. He is popular among Nayars, Christians, Muslims, and has a strong appeal among the youth across the board. Rahul Gandhi won't make him the face though, even if it's an electoral risk. And it's not just because of Venugopal's ambitions. It's mainly because smart, thinking, and outspoken politicians are misfits in the Congress, an organization dominated by political non-entities at the top. So what are Tharoor's options? As he says, he has many options like giving lectures across the world, writing columns and books, and whatnot. The fact is that any party would lay a red carpet for him, or for that matter, leaders like Manish Tiwari, Dipender Huda, Gaurav Gogoi, Sachin Pilot, and other proven winners. It's another matter that they won't go to another party. The BJP is a no-no because of their strong ideological beliefs. They have also spent all their political life in the Congress and prefer to fight for the right from within. The bigger picture, however, is that there is no political party in India for smart, free-thinking, outspoken politicians, unless they have patrons in the right places and don't make much of self-respect. It is true of the BJP, the Congress, and all else. Look at the long list of leaders who find themselves on the fringes in the BJP, starting from Yashwant Sinha, who has quit the party, of course, his son Jayant, Ravi Shankar Prasad, Uma Bharti, Vasundhara Raje, Varun Gandhi, Abhishek Singh, and hundreds of others among prominent leaders. Remember how PTR was divested of a high-profile finance portfolio by Tamil Nadu CM MK Stalin? BSP chief Mayawati did not tolerate even her nephew Akash Anand and expelled him from the party. On Sunday, though, Mayawati forgave Akash after he publicly acknowledged his mistake. Even police strategist Prashant Kishore, who worked closely with so many top politicians, could not get along with Nitish Kumar once he joined the JDU. There are examples galore. So, how do you explain the political party's reluctance to indulge talented, outspoken leaders? In the Congress party's case, it seems to largely emanate from insecurities, either of the Gandhi family itself or of their trusted lackeys at the center or in states. The family has a history of troubles with powerful, independent-minded regional satraps. So why create another? There can be many other reasons, including a faulty understanding of politics and society. The reason is just the opposite in the BJP's case. The High Command's absolute control. As they win in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's name, they should confine themselves to hailing him. Their personal ambitions have to be subjugated to the High Command's will. Don't ask, wait for the High Command's benevolent gauge to fall on you. In the case of other parties, similar factors from insecurities and absolute control to sheer whims of party supremos, among others, explain this trend. So, what's the option for smart, ambitious politicians in India today? Well, the answer is blowing in the wind. That's all from me in this episode of Politically Correct. Thanks for watching.